Anyway, let's see who this person is. All right. So a few things I would like to say before we start today's meeting. And today is one of my favorite activities. You will see why in a second, but you are all going to live with a lot of new ideas on how to solve your problem. Hello, EF Fresh. Could you please change your name to something we can recognize so we know who you are? Otherwise, if I don't know who you are, I will mark you as absent. So it is for your own interest too. Hey, hello, Shreya. Lovely to see your face. Okay, so I received several messages and I saw several people asking for the link. In order to make it easier for everyone, the link is always the same one, both for the meetings, the mentorship meetings, and for the contest. Always the same link. For it to be easy for you to find it, you can find it on Discord. It's pinned on the general channel. Okay, so if you go to Discord, click on pinned messages on the general channel, you will find the latest activity that you have to do for the week and the link for all of the meetings. Again, always the same link. So do not say, oh, I am late for the meeting because I was waiting for a confirmation email with the link. Like, don't do that. It's always the same link. Etc. Also, do not take this as an opportunity to come into my room and hang out for a while. As much as I enjoy hanging out with all of you and talking to all of you, if I have it open, it's probably because I'm having a meeting with someone. So unless you have booked it, chances are that I will not have the time or the availability to have a conversation with you. So let me know always beforehand, when do you want to talk? I am always more than happy to talk to any of you. I want to make sure I have the time and the space to do that in a legal way. Okay. When talking about legality, please do not send me friends requests. It's not that I don't want to be your friend, quite the opposite. Is that most of you are underage and I am not. I know that I don't look over age. I know that I look like super young, but it will be illegal in most countries that we have private conversations that people cannot access. So please, if you find me on social media or if you want to send me a message on Discord, do not do it privately, as in sending me a friend request, etc. That is why we have channels called Your Name / Silvia. That is the official way to contact me. Now, I also received several messages like, this is an emergency. What is the link for the meeting? Okay, so perhaps what I identify as an emergency is something like, oh my God, I just cut my leg, I just cut it off and I'm bleeding. To me, that sounds a lot more like an emergency, okay? And I am not the right professional for that. So for most of your emergencies in life, I am not the professional you're looking for. For other emergencies, we can figure it out, what emergency means. But most probably, I am not the person to contact within SOF. Okay, so if you have an emergency, like I need to drop the program because blah, 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 you can tell me, but I cannot guarantee when am I going to see your message. So if it's something that's urgent, do not only contact me, contact someone else as well. Is this understood? Please show me that you are. For the people who I can actually see, I see you nodding. In my culture, we understand this as yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for reacting, Himansu. If you want to send me Ariv, thank you. So great. That's something that I wanted to say. Also, I would like to, well, I'm going to change that. It's not that I want to. I'm expecting all of you to have entrepreneurial mentality. Who would like to say what that means to you? Thank you, Joel.
Hi, can I
Hello.
talk? Okay.
Please.
So I think it's the idea of always looking for a solution to a problem and a way to fix it, and also to be able um, to I don't know, be open to everything and like think of every possibility and accept all the different point of views of everyone around you. And I think it's very important to be open to the others and to always like never being I'm stuck here, I can do anything, and always thinking of the solution to a problem, I think.
That is perfect. Thank you very much, Juliet. That was exactly what I meant. Now, how do we apply the meaning of an entrepreneurial mentality to what we are doing here in Self? And how is this perhaps a little bit different from regular school? Perhaps in school, when you ask a teacher for the answer of a question, you wait and you do not do anything until your teacher replies. Now, when you do that in any situation in life, you're placing the responsibility to continuing that action on the other person. So unless it's something that, unless you have that person's response or that person's part of the work or wherever, you cannot carry on with your activity. A mentality, or like an entrepreneurial mentality, is like, okay, Silvia has said, I don't know, do a problem tree. What is the meaning of that? Perhaps she has posted a video 3 times on the general channel explaining how to do the activity. Perhaps there is something pinned on the important channels. Perhaps she has texted me about this. Perhaps she has talked about it. Maybe I can go to YouTube to watch the video of the last contest, etc., etc. So there are always ways to get information if we cannot provide you with it immediately, okay? That also goes for, I love how Juliet also mentioned like helping each other and like having a mentality of how to solve problems. We are here to support each other, and you're gonna see that today with the activity that we are about to start. I'm like just like very excited. And but for example, on voting last week, personally, I was a bit disappointed because only 5 people voted, and that is why I claimed it to be empty. Because out of 18 people, only 5, I don't think it's representative. Now, sometimes if I cannot see your face, I don't know if you're following what I'm saying, etc. So I'm assuming that I am being understood. During last contest, I thank you, Ryan. During the last contest, when I don't know, it was like 1 hour into the activity, I received a private message saying, "What are we doing?" So I was like, I don't know how to answer this question. So with everything that I am saying right now, by all means, I am not meaning that I don't want to help you. What I mean is that I might perhaps not be always ready to give you an immediate answer, and that you are expected to find other ways to find answers just in case. Always have B plans, C plans, all the alphabet plans, just in case, and we are here to help, but not to do the work for you. Okay? Right. Just underlining, we do want to help, okay? But usually to help someone with something, we need to see what can we help with. So if you say my problem is this, then I say, oh, I can help with and offer my help. If you say, I don't know what my problem is, I'm gonna stare at the ceiling, then give me something to help you with. Okay. Also, during the contest, I am usually too focused on, is the technology working fine? Is everyone in the right place? What's the next step? Sometimes I receive private messages on Zoom, on Discord, on other channels. Sometimes I don't have the capability to see it all. You have any question during the contest at any given moment, unmute yourself, say, Silvia, I'm lost, tell me what to do. So no problem at all. That is why we always keep the Zoom room open all the time. And for the voting, The way of voting is, when I explain how you vote for the day's activity, you go to our private channel, your name / Silvia, and you say, I vote for this person or this team because. Now, why is it important that you say the reason why you're giving this vote to someone? Because if I offer you feedback, I am very aware of how I am perceived by you guys. I am the dinosaur who's the teacher and has like a power relation. So if I give you feedback, it's going to be great, but it's most probably, I might be wrong. It's most probably going to be perceived as a teacher giving you feedback. When you receive feedback from peers, is a lot better because you are being seen by people who are more of an equal to you. And this is why I personally consider a lot more important that you give feedback to each other. And then if you want my feedback, by all means, ask me. Okay. So if you say, I vote for team one, great. But if you say, wow, I vote for team one because their way of expressing the ideas was outstanding and I am still thinking of the story. I copy paste that and team one is going to be super happy for the rest of the week. Okay. So if I say that, it's just like, the teacher just wants us to do the work for us to be happier when doing homework. I don't want the feedback to be received that way. Is this so far clear to everyone? Great. So the first question of today is, and to answer, unmute yourself, whomever wants to answer it. What is something you didn't know about your problem, the problem that you want to solve, say 2-3 years ago, or something that you discovered that you were wrong about? What is something about your problem that you were not that you were not aware of 2-3 years ago, or something that you have discovered you were wrong about?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Ryan?
So something that I realized was that for the social media marketing company is that it requires a lot. You need to learn a lot. Like I started learning about it, and the course content is a lot, much more than I expected. So that's one of the things that I.
That is great, like the importance of social media, and you are very good at understanding how all of the algorithms work, etc. So how important it is for many aspects, for visibility, for self-image. Great job. Who else would like to share? Ariv was sharing that 2-3 years ago he didn't even know that the problem existed. So that's fantastic too.
Could I go?
Please.
I think 2-3 years ago, I didn't even know that.
You're on mute. Suddenly you're on mute. Shreya, we want to hear you. You're on mute.
No. Oh, wait.
Now, yeah.
Oh no,
I am
I'm so
you.
sorry. Did I unmute myself? Sorry, I'm so sorry. But two
No,
or three.
now we are all a lot more like, oh, what is it? What didn't she realize?
Okay.
It's a cliffhanger in storytelling.
Yeah, good strategy. I think 2 or 3 years ago, I wasn't even aware of how how women in even developed countries, women who have access to education and even face extreme violence and the extent of that. So that's jarring to hear about.
That's really good. Something that I really like about that all of your comments have in common is that you are starting to be more aware of your surroundings and that you have a more of an inquisitive mind. Like, why is this happening? This is something I was considering normal, but what happens if I start like looking at what's behind. Oh, I don't like this. I want to change that. So I love that mentality. I'm gonna send you to a breakout room for about 7 minutes. Okay. And I was asking you on Discord, on the general channel, what is something about you that people assume and that is not true? Like, for example, I can tell you like so many things from me living abroad, things that people assume about Spaniards. Like everyone assumes that I know how to dance flamenco and that I love paella and and that I will fight as a way of, I don't know, exercising. None of the typical Spanish stereotypes applies to me, which is very funny. And these are just silly examples. There are a lot of other things that people have assumed about me that are so not true. So I am assuming that the same happened to you. And I've been reading some examples that you provided on Discord. So what I would like you to do all on the breakout room is for about 7 minutes, discuss with each other what are things that people assume about you. And once everyone has spoken, create a story with a brand new character who has all of those assumptions and how that person's life is like. Is this clear enough?
Yes.
So great, thank you. So all of you create, yeah, all of you create a character with one assumption that people have about you and describe how that person's life is like. Okay, so sending you to breakout rooms, I hope.
Are they going to be in the respective teams, or is everyone going to be on the same breakout room?
And there are 4 breakout rooms with 4 people on each one.
Okay.
I think, because
Yeah.
technology is not my superpower. Hey, Joel.
Hi, Sylvia. It's maternity team.
Did you receive a message for you to be sent to a breakout room?
Yeah, but it sent me back to the main room.
Okay, let me see if I can. Right. Okay, it says that you have not entered. You're invited to one of the sessions.
I haven't received a message now.
I don't know.
Oh no.
Let me figure the solution.
Because I did join it first, but like I don't know what happened that it returned me.
I have no idea. Okay. Okay, 1 second. You might receive 2 invitations in a row. Did you receive an invitation now?
Yeah.
Okay, don't click, don't click. Click now. Does it work for you? Yeah. You came back soon. Don't worry, you have not done anything wrong. Okay, I use I assume that everyone was gonna be like, oh, we only have 60 seconds, but everyone is coming back early. Cool. Hello. Okay, more people coming back. Right, how was the experience? What kind of story do you get?
So
We have
we got a
copy-paste our daily routine.
Okay, so the first one unmuting herself was Juliet, and then him and Sue. So please share, Juliet, how was your story?
so we were thinking of like our problems were like I think a lack of understanding. And so we created a character who's Sam, and Sam goes at school and he talks a lot with, like, I mean, he's interacting with a group of people, and they all talk a lot about their own lives and about their problems and what they think about the world and everything. And he is like maybe too quiet or too shy, and so he doesn't talk much. And so the other they think he doesn't understand what they're talking about, or maybe that he doesn't want to share his own life with them, and so they don't feel really good with it, and like they don't really accept that he's so different and quiet. And so Sam feels rejected, and like eventually he has to find a solution because he feels bad and it's not good. And so he tries to get out of his comfort zone and start talking a lot to people, but it takes time, of course. But he starts sharing more about his life and about him, and so it gets better, and in the end he makes new friends. And
I
he
love
talks.
that you ended on a positive note. Usually these kind of stories like end up like, and then the world implosionates and we all die.
No,
So
no.
good job. And I also like that Sam has an entrepreneurial kind of thinking, like, oh, I need to find a solution for this, just like you guys. So thank you very much. Himanshu, what about your group? What story did you create?
From our group, Lulu will explain the story.
Okay.
Sure. So the person is Sophie. Sophie, they assume that Sophie, like when they listen to Sophie, no, when they talk to Sophie, Sophie doesn't listen, but Sophie listen to them. But I think Sophie don't listen. It doesn't listen to them, and also they assume that Sophie is not a strong person. So she's a weak person, and also she isn't going to school and is not doing her homework and something like that. But Sophie will show those people that she's another person, that she's not that person that they are assuming of her, that they are assuming. And so Sophie has made her school and she got very good grades, and Sophie started a business, and yeah, now she has a really good life.
Sophie could be friends with Sam. Like, I'm loving these characters. And again, I'm really liking that it ends on a good note. What other stories do we have? There were 4 rooms.
Madam.
Please, Ariv.
Okay, so our story is about James, who is a South Korean boy, and if he lives in Scotland at the at the point of time in the story and is usually mistaken as a Chinese person. So his personality is really laid back and calm in front of others, usually all the time. He is really passionate about his goals, but he doesn't talk to many people and he's really reserved outside his immediate friend group. So people assume he's stupid and not really passionate about anything in life. A few years pass by and he keeps working towards his goals. And while participating in a competition, he comes in contact with a few other people in his age group, uh, which are in the same field. They start talking and make really great friends, and participating in more competitions together. They create a great bond, and after some time, like repeating the process, they come up with a really good startup which is quite successful, and they all have a great life in the end.
This is like the happiest group ever. This is great. Or maybe I don't know, like I just gave you like a hint that I like stories that end well. That's fantastic. And something that I really like is that all of these characters take, the responsibility of their own lives. Also, please do remember that some things are not within our, we don't have the power to change them alone. Okay, so while I am loving these stories, I would not like you to only interpret them as, oh, if I have a problem, I only me have the responsibility to change it. You can ask for help. And okay, Dan, I just accepted you. Hope that you are hearing us.
Yeah, I can hear you, but I can't see you, and for me it's just it's a stand picture. Like I don't see anything, but I can hear you. I don't think I should. If I'm afraid if I leave now, then I won't be able to rejoin. So I've taken a screenshot for you, by the way, and I sent you in Discord. But I don't
Okay.
know what to do because I can hear you now. I can hear you.
That is fine. That is fine. I am about to send you to Discord. So 1 second.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
can hear me, that's perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Right. What I was saying is that sometimes you don't need to take with the entire weight of the world on your shoulders. Okay. Sometimes you need help, and sometimes you will also need to change environment. Remember that you are all like seeds. And if any of you is into gardening, you will know that not every seed will grow on the same time of like flower pot. Some will need a bigger one, some will need more sun, some will need to be inside more often, some will need to be outside more often. So it's about you discovering what kind of seed you are and treating yourself the way that you need to in order to grow, rather than forcing yourself to grow the way all of the other plants are growing. We have one more story and we move on to the next activity.
That's okay. I'll just go then. So the story is about Christy, who is an American black teen girl and who lives in the suburbs of one of America's most racist towns. She struggled with her weight and has always been perceived as merely a number on a scale. Because of the inherent and systemic racism, even though she has everything right, a good family, a good household, she isn't included in most opportunities, even in school. Even though she has a heart of gold, not many people want to be friends with her. She tries to participate in activities outside of school as well, but it's hard to be taken seriously when you're a woman, you're black, and you're considered merely a number on a scale and nothing more than that. She was considered aggressive because of the inherent image of Black people in America, and because of the color of her skin, people found it difficult to talk to her and considered her weird and different, and she always felt like an outsider. Um, However, she gets sick of this and she doesn't want to be treated this way. So she tries asking her teachers to hold conversations in classes, within the schools, maybe assemblies, to help spark conversations about how Black children in America are treated differently and how they deserve equal opportunity.
And she started her own entrepreneurial journey, creating school programs for children all over the United States that helped millions of people be happier. This is great. Love your stories. And very similarly to the journey that you have all started here in School of Future, they are all finding solutions, finding things that they identify as problems and finding solutions for them. The thing is that we as passionate entrepreneurs might sometimes oversee what we are assuming about our problem. And this is why while we were doing the activity of the problem tree, I kept on asking you, who else is on this branch? Then what happens to this other person? And then what happens to society? Because sometimes only thinking about the exact same situation from the point of view of someone else, we discover something we have not yet realized that will give you a hint on how to find brand new solutions. So for us not to focus too much on our very strong opinion on the problem that we want to solve and to see what other things are there to figure out how are we biased, I am gonna ask you all to find a pen and a piece of paper or somewhere where you can take notes. And I'm going to give you, well, I'm going to ask you 4 questions one by one. I'm going to give you about 1 minute to write down whatever comes to mind. There are not right or wrong answers, and I'm not gonna ask you to share them here yet. So don't worry, whatever you write is perfect. The first question is, think about the problem you want to solve. What is the main cause of this problem? What causes the problem the most? 1 minute starting now. Finish writing the sentence you are writing. The second question, remember whatever you write is perfect, is what do people think of the problem? What do people think of the problem? 1 minute starting now. What do people think of the problem? Or the first one, what causes the problem the most? The third question What could help fix the problem? What could help fix the problem? 1 minute starting now. And the last question, what is something about the history of your problem that you want to know more about? What is something about the history of your problem that you want to know more about? 1 minute starting in 3, 2, 1. Whatever you wrote is perfect. So how are you feeling looking at your answers? If you don't have your camera on and you want to let everyone know, like perhaps you're feeling great, or perhaps you're feeling like, ooh, no, I don't want this problem anymore, or frustrated, yes, that's a good one, or I want to move further. I want this to be faster. Okay, so let me share my screen. Do you all have access to Discord right now? Okay, hopefully on another device as well, so it's easier. And you might have noticed, if I did this right, that a brand new set of channels have appeared on Discord. Have you noticed that? Yes, no. If you haven't, I'm gonna show it to you. Okay, this is how my Discord looks like. Okay, it's called Spicy Questions. Okay, here. And there is a channel for every single one of you. If anyone cannot see their channel, please let me know. I must have done something wrong, because technology, as I always say, is not my superpower. The important part is that here on the bottom, you will see education, mental health, personal development, equality. This includes equality, like racism, sexism, LGBTQ, equality for however you understand it. politics, poverty, homelessness, etc., anything that's linked to a consequence of poverty or bad politics, climate change, or deforestation, anything linked to nature, and other. So for the next 10 minutes, I am going to ask you all to join the channel that aligns better to your problem and have a conversation there with the people who are also interested on your problem. Share the things you use growth, like what is the main cause of the problem? What do people think of the problem? What could help fix the problem? And what is something about history that you still need to know to fully understand that, okay, to fully understand it better. And as you will as you will see this week, because this coming week is a mentorship call week. On this mentorship call, we are going to be working on how to develop a lot of questions for you to create a survey and for you to interview people, and who could you be interviewing, okay? So help each other find extra questions that they should be asking. For example, if someone says, oh, I will need to know more to know more about World War II in order to fix my problem. Like, oh, so you should be asking a historian, you should be asking a history teacher, you should be asking, and you could ask, what is this, blah, blah, blah. Always try to focus on questions that start with W. What, why, well, how as well, like where, etc. So you don't just get a yes or no answer. Okay, so go to the channel that aligns better to the problem you want to solve, and for 10 minutes, have a conversation there. Write down as many questions as you can.
Hello.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Forgot to mute myself in Zoom.
Well, I was hoping you were saying hello to me, but go to your,
No, actually,
to
I
your
have
room
autism.
too. I'll be here in case someone has a question.
Wait, actually, I can't mute myself on Zoom. All right.
2 more minutes, people. 2 more minutes. Right, come back to Zoom. I love to see how engaged all of you are on your conversations. Come back to Zoom for the last part of activity, which is the best. Okay, show me
Can we
that you
have
are
a few more
back
minutes?
here. Show me that you are back here somehow. Okay, good. Great, thank you very much, everyone. I see you, great. So now the most important and the coolest part. Yes, I can, 1 sec. Dan, you should have received a message for you to unmute. Yes. Don't worry because the Zoom call is about to end, but you guys are going to keep on going for a maximum of 30 minutes. On what? You might be wondering. Well, you have seen that there is a channel for every single one of you. Okay, is that right? Did you find a channel with your name, only your name? Okay, that is your private, well, private, everyone can see it, but that's the private channel that you're going to use to share all of your questions about your problem and for people to give you feedback, help, etc. What do I want you to do for a maximum of 30 minutes? First, Step number 1, go onto your channel and state what is the problem that you want to solve. For example, cakes are very expensive in my neighborhood, for example, or they are about to eliminate the forest right beside my neighborhood and I want to save the trees, for example. Or I want to help create a curriculum for inclusivity in my school, or as big or as small as you want it to be, state it. Step number 2, after you've stated the problem, write down all of the questions that you are having right now after your conversation with other people interested in the same area as you. It is always super fruitful to talk about the problem with someone from another culture, country, completely different experience, etc. What questions do you have now? Write them down on your channel. And step number 3, the funniest part is, as soon as you do that, go to everyone else's channel and answer as many questions as you can, and or offer other questions for them to use. I am about to publish on Discord a list of things that you could be doing. Just go crazy, write on one another's sounds for the next 30 minutes. You can comment with any question or comment or thought you have about that problem area, any prior experience you might have with the problem, share resources, YouTube videos, articles, etc. that are helpful. What do you think they are assuming? Help them find research questions, keywords that they could search, survey and interview questions that you can think for them, and what people could they interview to answer all of these questions? So step 1, state your problem. Step 2, what questions do you have? Step 3, go crazy for 30 minutes. I will be sending you messages on the general channel like, you have 15 minutes left, you have 5 minutes left. Once I publish the comment saying time is over, take a couple of minutes to reread everything on your channel and send me a message saying the most useful comment that I received was from. This will be 1 vote for that person's team. So yes, you can vote people in your team, but please do not cheat and actually choose the comment that helped you the most, okay? And also, this only means that you guys will have to give fantastic advice to each other so you can get voted as the best. The problem declaration part. 1 second, I'll go to your question in a second, Joel. So be the best advisor that you can be. Give as great advice as you can so you can get voted as the best advisor. And tell people on your team to be fantastic advisors too, because those will be votes for your team, okay? And do I write it on the problem declaration part? When you say it, what do you exactly mean? That question is for Joel, who is asking, do I write it on the problem declaration part? I don't fully understand the question. If you have any question right now, unmute yourself and ask. No, I'm finishing the meeting, don't worry. This is an answer to Shreya's question to, are we supposed to rejoin the meeting after 30 minutes? No, don't worry. Can I give you 5 more seconds for questions? When we have to go crazy and when we have to go crazy on the zone. I still don't understand the question, Joel. Like right now, in 5 seconds. Step 1, write your problem declaration on your channel, on the channel with your name. 2, write what questions do you still have about your problem. 3, go crazy on everyone else's channel and give great advice. So 4, in 30 minutes time, you get the vote as the best advisor, and that will be a vote for your team. Is this clear? In my head, this is very clear. So I am assuming that this is very clear. If I am wrong in my assumptions, please do let me know. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right, it's super clear. Great. Lovely to see you. I'll be seeing you during the week to create fantastic questions for your surveys and your interviews. Go crazy and be the best advisors ever. Okay? Love you all. See you soon.